Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is me, Alicia. If this is your first time here, and if not, welcome back. Alright, we are back with a Q&A, get ready with me, chit chat, I don't know, but we're gonna beat this phase while we answer some questions. So let's just get into it. Alright guys, so let's get started. I am first going to stretch my hair because I'm going to wear my hair down today. I will link all of the products that I use below. I have a wash and go video on my channel. I will link that below as well, because besides the products, the actual application and how I apply it, nothing has changed. So I'll link some of my products below because I have changed some of the products, but as far as like how I apply it and how I condition my hair, nothing's changed. Okay, and then because I like to look cute, I'm gonna stick this very oversized beanie that I got from Charlotte Russe at easily over a decade ago, but I haven't been able to find a loose one since, so I just make sure I hold on to it. Okay, let's get into it. So the way that this is gonna work, I have 5 different sections. I was trying to do like 10 minutes each section, but then I realized that I had more questions in some section than others. So we're gonna do 5 sections. I'll make sure that I put the questions here. And yeah, I'm hoping this takes about 50 minutes. So the goal is to get through like 2 minutes per question as I'm applying makeup. I will make sure, if I don't mention it in the video, that I will link every product that I use as well as the shades, because you guys have been asking me about shades. But first and foremost, we are going to be applying the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. It's the only sunscreen that I have been putting on my face. So the sections are personal and family, corporate, 9 to 5, that kind of stuff, influencer related, entrepreneur / small business related, and then we have miscellaneous, which is a hodgepodge of questions that didn't fit in any of the sections. So we're going to start with personal and family, and I just applied the One Size Secure the Blur primer. So me and William met on the campus of the University of Alabama. Well, technically not the university. We actually met on Facebook. This was back when Facebook was for colleges only. We realized we had some of the same friend groups. That's back when Facebook would like recommend friends. And so he reached out, messaged, kind of asked like, hey, see, we have the same friends. Why haven't we met? I don't know. I don't go out. So just kind of was like messaging back and forth on Facebook, and then ended up meeting at this little like lake area outside the Ferg, where we were friends for a good minute because he was talking to someone, I was talking to someone at the time. Those both kind of fell off. If I'm being honest, I think they fell off because we were slowly starting to realize that we liked each other more than just friends. And now here we are, over a decade later. So yeah, we met on campus at the University of Alabama. I don't talk about my dad because I don't really know him. I'm probably pretty sure I've seen or interacted with my dad maybe 10 times in my whole entire life. He just wasn't around. My dad's family was kind of around pretty much. And even now I have a aunt that I still like talk to on an on and off basis, but for the most part he just wasn't around, so I choose not to talk about. To me, it would be a stranger. As far as my family being okay that I was on YouTube, I don't care. I mean, my mom likes it. She catches and she watches my videos, so hey mommy. But as far as like, are they okay with it, I didn't ask anyone is it okay if I do YouTube. I try to make it a point not to record them unless they're okay with it. But as far as like asking for their permission, I didn't care. I don't even think I asked for William's permission, which I shouldn't have to. I'm a grown woman. Now I do kind of like ask him certain things when it concerns the both of us. So like, are you okay with me showing Alexander? Okay. Are you okay with me showing, like I just did his man cave, are you okay with me showing that? So if it's concerning the both of us, yes. But if it's my channel and I'm just showing myself, I'm using the Fenty concealer in color 410 just to kind of put under my brows and blend them out so they don't look so nappy, because they are. I would say yes and no. Would I? Yes, as in like we definitely want more kids. However, I'm aware that for me, not necessarily like getting pregnant, but maintaining the pregnancy, especially during the first trimester, is the most difficult for me. And I just don't know if I'm ready to go through that trauma bond experience. I'm pretty sure I told you guys, but in case you aren't aware, Alexander was our rainbow baby. So I was pregnant in 2021 and never got to, I don't think I got to 8 or 9 weeks. So when we found out he was pregnant, that I was pregnant with him, I had to start taking hormone injections twice a day. And so once I got out of my first trimester, it was great. I actually had a very easy pregnancy. I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow Mascara. So it was an easy pregnancy once I got out of that stage. So would I physically like to have another child, and I know that he was going to come full term? Yes, I would love to have another one. And we're definitely going to start trying when we hit a certain point. We've actually already talked about it. I'm not telling y'all. But we have actually started talking about it, and we're like, okay, we'll start trying at such and such. But I know I at least want to have 2. The goal for me back in the day was I wanted to have 3. I wanted to physically birth 2, and I wanted to adopt 1. So now that we've kind of went through what we went through with pregnancy or whatever, we're like, you know what, we're going to try, but I'm not going to be that person where I try for years and years and years and years and years, because I don't want to put that mental boatload on me. So we said we're going to try for X number of time, and then if it doesn't work out, then we're going to go the adoption route. And at the end of the day, as long as we are okay with, both of us are okay with that, which we have talked about ad nauseum, then I'm okay with that. So we definitely want 2 kids. How the second one gets here is up to God. So this one is actually really nice. It's one of the few travel in US questions we got. We got a lot of like international, but I wanted to put this one up here. So I would say that we've already visited. We both love Charlotte. We both love New Orleans on the opposite side of Magazine Street. So get away from Bourbon, get away from all that hoopla and go to the other side of Magazine Street. It's actually really nice. And then I am in love with Savannah. Him, it just depends. But I would definitely say that New Orleans and Charlotte are some of our faves. Of course, we like the coast. Like if it wasn't so far away, we would go to Amelia Island in Florida. It's so great. You can drive onto the beach. It's just a vibe. But as far as the city we would like to visit, so I have already been. He has not been before. Well, he hasn't been, there's actually 2. He hasn't been since he's been an adult. So we definitely want to do Chicago, just me and him. I've went a couple of times visiting my girlfriend. I'm going to go in, my foundation is going to be the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place. I love this stuff. However, my pump is broken, so we're just going to make it work. So I would love to do Chicago with him. As an adult. And then there were some parts, like I didn't stay in Chicago because my girlfriend doesn't live in Chicago. She actually lives on the outskirts of Chicago, so we didn't get to like really experience downtown Chicago. So I would love to go back and stay, you know, somewhere around the loop and really experience the downtown area. And then another place that we're probably going to look into going next year, and that is Seattle. Once again, I have been to Seattle because my Faith used to live in Seattle, but I never stayed downtown. She actually stayed in Renton, so outside in the suburbs. I never really got to experience true downtown Seattle, so I'd love to go back with him, stay downtown for a couple of days and really just explore the city. But we've gotten, I was telling him earlier, we've gotten so used to like traveling international that there's just so many nice cities in the States that we have not explored. So yes, I went to college, the University of Alabama. Yeah, went to the University of Alabama. I double majored in finance and Spanish. The goal was to really work in finance somewhere overseas, because I was just one of those where I did a lot of my imagination through magazines, and just being overseas just very intrigued me. So I was like, I'm gonna get the hell out of Alabama and I'm gonna go work and live overseas. Clearly didn't work. I mean, I still use the Spanish, but so yeah, majored in finance and Spanish, got a job as a financial analyst fresh out of school. The company that I started working with after school or out of college also paid for your master's like free. Like you didn't pay them and then they paid you back. Like they paid the school up front. You don't see that a lot of times around. So I took full advantage and went and got my master's. I didn't get a regular MBA because I kind of wanted to be a little bit of a differentiation. And so I actually got my master's of science in finance. I also got a couple of certificates while I was at said company, because not only do they pay for you to take the test, they pay for any study you might have. So I was going online. I was like, give me the best you got. It ain't on my dime. So I really do have to thank that company, because they they saved me well over $100,000 in just tuition, fees, books, test scores. It was just a lot. See, as far as what I do, it's a hodgepodge. I'm being honest. My job title has remained the same. The last couple of years, I am like I said, a senior accountant. And as far as like, child, it's just a lot. I am a super user for Oracle within our company, so I still handle some aspects of the IT side of the finance side that we work in Oracle, if that makes sense. So if something on our finance and billing side doesn't work right, I would look at it to see what it looks right, to see what's the issue with it. So I do that. Month-end closing, so you have to close off the books, billing complex customers, journal entries, forecasting and budgeting, and we do it on a quarterly, a semi-annually, and then an annual basis. Child, it's a hodgepodge of things. It's hodgepodge, but I will have to say the place that I am at, I like it, and I think this isn't really a question, but we're going to get into the balancing of it all, and how I'm able to balance everything that I'm doing. And on top of working a job for corporate America. And what I will say is that if I was still with the first company that I worked at after I graduated, I would not be able to do what I'm doing. It's definitely, the manager was micromanaging, okay? The shifts were you clock in, you clock out, you stay, you have your hour for lunch. It was definitely a very, I mean, I call it an authoritarian. I was in a dictatorship. I don't know. I feel like I get asked this question quite often, and I don't know. I keep saying, you know, I keep talking to William about it, and I'm like, okay, whenever the small business has made X number of money, I'm going to think about quitting. Or whenever I bring in X number per year from influencing, I'm going to stop working. But I like what I do. Like, I don't know. I'm not one of those that's like dreading her job and dreading going to work. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some days where I'm like, I can't stand no one here. If my email goes off one more time, I'm going to fling this laptop clear across my desk. Those are few and far in between. I have definitely a lot more, oh, chill, I love my job days than the other part. And I don't know if I would be as enthusiastic knowing that I don't get to use that part of my brain. I don't know. So I put this here because a lot of people have been asking me, and even when I just did a recent podcast, she called me a style influencer when I was completely caught off guard, because I'm like, styling? What? But I feel like this is, even though I still feel like I'm a lifestyle influencer, I have been posting more style related stuff, so it's fine. I'm using the Fenty Matchstick in color Espresso 05. What I will say about finding your personal style is I get that people are influenced. I get that. I'm influenced all the time. I'm about to head to Target as soon as I'm done with this because I saw that they have Issa Rae's wine. I want it, and I've seen it all on Instagram, and I just finished watching a YouTube video, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to go. Anyway, so I get that people are influenced all the time, but what I will say is you find your personal style when you go to shop, and you naturally gravitate towards certain things, not being influenced by someone that you saw someone else have on and now you have to have it. It's you're going quote unquote window shopping, and these are the things that you gravitate towards naturally. That is where I would say start there, and then start looking for Pinterest inspiration behind that. For example, if you love color, if you are just like, I cannot live without pink, every time I go into the store I'm automatically going towards like pinks and oranges and stuff like that, or yellow, and I like to live bold, then that's where you start. And then you start looking for that kind of inspiration on Pinterest or on Instagram or on, you know, in magazines. But I would say that you have to find things that, one, you naturally gravitate to just generally, and then two, things that you're comfortable in and that you're comfortable with. Because I love a pink look. Like when I see a pink or a loud color look, I love it. Like I love to see it on people. I'm not gonna wear it because I'm not comfortable in those bright clothes. They serve some purpose, especially like if I'm on vacation in the tropics. Oh, give me the color. But if not, that's not something that I'm comfortable in. So even though I like it on other people, and even though I follow several people that have and live and think and dream in color, I know that's not something that I'm comfortable wearing. Therefore, I'm not even going to think about picking it up in the store. It's not something that I gravitate to when I'm shopping. So that would be my first start of reference for you guys. So I will have to say, in terms of like a YouTuber, like even though I've been doing this for a while, I'm still very simple when it comes to like my editing and filming. For the most part, like even now, because I'm in my vanity, I'm talking to you guys on a vanity, like from a vanity mirror, and I'll link that below. But as far as this vanity mirror that I use to get dressed, I don't have any lighting. Box lighting, ring lighting, shadow lighting, whatever lighting, I don't have it. But I also will have to say that my house allows me not to have to use that kind of lighting. I get that everyone's house isn't the same. So some people do have to use natural lighting or like natural imitation lighting to be able to have the brightness that they need to record. I don't need it. Even when we were at the other house, I didn't use any kind of lighting because I like natural light. I like big windows, that kind of stuff. So as far as the presets for the Instagram feed, and they're talking about, like, I'll pop up my Instagram feed here, the dark, moody, warm. I created that preset in Visco. I'm not giving it away. I want that to be my only one. But you can always Pinterest. Like if you're going for dark and moody, you can say dark and moody Visco preset. And someone out there, thank goodness for them, they have created an entire, like, from how to change the saturation, what highlight, what vignette, like they have everything. So if you're looking for a, like, you want a theme, and that's what I like. I like themes on my feed, so I kind of want it to all kind of look the same. I created my own, and I have to do a little bit of even adjusting depending on where I take the picture, who's in the picture, what's in the picture. But for the most part, I start with the preset that I created, and then I kind of work from there. Alright, so that goes into the next question. I'm just putting, so I put the dark on my cheeks, and I'm putting this. It's kind of like an eyeshadow. I don't really wear a lot of eyeshadow, but this kind of like blends in the concealer. So when did I decide to employ? One, when I feel like I'm not giving it 110%. And then or two, I feel like what I am doing is taking up too much of my time that I could be using to do something else. For instance, an editor. Editing a vlog takes a very, very long time, especially depending on how much footage that you have. It takes a very long time. So I decided to bring in an editor to kind of free up anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of my week. That's 4 to 6 hours I could be doing something else. I'm going to use a brown, the same brown Fluff and Fill mascara. I'm going to use that as an under eyeliner. I haven't been putting on black liner because I feel like it makes my eyes look too like deep and inset. So the brown gives me just a little bit of coverage without it looking too dark. So as far as a manager, I decided to get a management team again when I wasn't pitching. I'm just being honest. I was about to say when I didn't feel like pitching. I wasn't. If they weren't coming to me, I just wasn't doing it. I was over it. I feel like I was burned out. You send out all of these emails and you know, when you first start out, you send out all these emails and they're nice and they're custom, and you get like, you send out 10 and you might get a response to 1. So I was just tired, so I had stopped pitching. So if it wasn't coming to me, it just wasn't coming. And while that was really good, I knew that there were some specific companies that I wanted to work with, and if you don't reach out to them, how will they know you want to work with them? So that's when I decided to get a management team, and with that came an assistant, a virtual assistant, and she just really helps do the influencing side of things. So if I have a collab coming up, she'll send an invite, like a calendar invite, to let me know, okay, this draft is due, this is when you need to post, this is when the insights are due to the brand. I don't handle the invoicing side of things, that's from the management company. When I'm creating content, she'll say, okay, these are the things you can do, these are the things you can't do, these are the brands you cannot mention. If I'm working with like a Nordstrom, these are the brands I can't mention or anything like that. So it kind of goes through the contract and the brief to point out the things that I need to know when I am creating content. And then she also creates the LTK links, so that when I go in to upload on LTK, I don't have to worry about going to all the different places to find the links for the stuff. She pulls that and then puts them into a nice organized folder for me, so it's a lot easier for me to post. So if you noticed on LTK, I get to where I can post daily because I'm not having to go out and find the links, because that's something that she does now. So that's been a big help. So I think I answered this question back when they said about leaving corporate America. I don't know. Once again, I feel like I'm kind of on an island by myself, also looking for tweezers so I can put on my, I'm using the 424 lashes from Ardell. On an island by myself, from like, some days I feel like it's different. Some days I'm like, yeah, I could definitely do this, you know, full time. That would free up time for me to do X, Y, and Z. But then at the end of the day, it would free up time for me to do something else. So it's like doing this full time and get rid of corporate America. Yeah, I'm no longer in corporate America, but then what am I going to find? What am I going to find to occupy that time? Because I'm going to find something to occupy that time. I'm not just going to be like, okay, well, I'm not in corporate America again, guess I'll just sit here. Like, I feel like I've been pretty consistent and pretty productive working all of my avenues for years. I now have like a schedule and a routine, and even after Alexander was here, it took me a second to find it, but I feel like I found it. And I never feel like I'm constantly drowning. Like, there are some days when I'm like, everything happens at once, and I'm like, I just need one me. Like, I don't need that. I'm not that person who's like, oh, if I had 3 of me, I don't need 3 of me, I need 1. If I had 1 more me, unstoppable. But then for the most part, I feel like I have it down packed. So I'm never going to say never, because I just don't know what the future holds. But right now, I like my life where I have it right now. I like the balance that I'm able to do with both. So right now, I don't see influencing full time in this space. But once again, never say never. I don't know about fashion icons. I don't... we'll come back to fashion icons. No, Fashion Week is not on my bucket list. Only because I feel like a lot of times people have a fashion influencer and a style influencer as this one person, and they're not. Some people can be both. Some people can be a fashion and a style influencer. And then some people that I have seen are just one, which means you're a fashion influencer. You like the fashions. You like the fashions. You like the brands. You like the labels. You can't put 2 pieces together to make an outfit to save your life. But it's Louis, it's Gucci, it's Jacquemus, it's the labels. You're a fashion influencer, okay? And then there are people like me who I can't really give you a lot of the fashions. Like, I enjoy seeing other influencers go to Fashion Week. I think it's great. I would literally legit only go to Fashion Week to help network and to meet other creators. But as far as like being obsessed with going to some of the like fashion shows, I don't know these people. Does H&M have a fashion show? I don't know some of the labels, so I would go. I feel like if I went, and especially if I got invited by some of these fashion brands, and I'm like in one of the first 5 rows, I would immediately feel like I took someone's seat who really wanted to be here. Like I'll go and I like, oh, that dress is cute, but if you're asking me to point that out in a runway, I can't. It's just not something. I've never really been into the big labels. So no, it's not on my bucket list at all. I would, if I do ever go, like I said, it would just strictly be to network. As far as fashion icons, I mean, the two that come to mind, which is, I just like the way that they, not only like their style, just the way that they carry themselves, and that is Tracee Ellis Ross. I mean, I feel like Auntie Tracy is everybody's fashion icon. I'm doing the MAC Rich Rosé Skin Finish Bronzer. Oh, it's in color Rich Rosy. Yeah, I feel like Auntie Tracy is like everybody's fashion icon because it's Tracy. Hello. And then the other one that I can just come like off the top is Laura Winslow from Family Matters. She had hits, especially now that the 90s is coming back. Love it. Those are the two that I'm like, if someone asked me, I would immediately name those two. But other than that, can't give you anybody else. Alright, so before we answer that question, I'm going to go in with the Morphe Copper Toonie Powder Blush. I like this question for a bevy of reasons. One, I like that I have been able to share much of my life where you guys feel deeply invested in my life and my family and my child and everything. But then what I also like is, as much as I've shown, there's still so much I just haven't shown. There's still so much I haven't shown, won't show, we'll debate about showing, because I still want to keep some piece of me. And what I tell people all the time, especially friends, when they ask me, like, you know, is it weird that people come up to you, and is it weird that people call you Living Fearless, not your name? Don't mind. And I said, Living Fearless is a portion of, is Alicia. Like, Living Fearless is me. However, I am not Living Fearless, as in, like, that's not all I am. Like, all of Living Fearless is me, right? But I am not all Living Fearless. There are several aspects of my life you won't see about, hear about, talk about, be about, because that's just how I choose to respond. But I still feel that I give so much, and I feel like I'm one of the more open, that you guys still feel, like I said, invested in my life and my journey on this thing we call life. And I ask God every time when I even mention it, I was like, God, if you don't do anything, keep me and make me humble. So this is a question that came up on both YouTube and Instagram, and I have never had a mentor. And then two, I don't offer mentorship services. There's only 24 hours in a day, and I just don't have the time. And when I do something, the Sagittarius in me, the type A in me, wants to make sure that it is done 100% effort. And I could say, yeah, I'm going to offer some mentorship services and open up a Squarespace website and have you guys put in, and we'll meet occasionally. And then I'll realize that my ambition got bigger than my schedule, and then I'll have to close it down. So I know just from me doing and working day to day that I don't have the time to commit to a mentorship, so I'm not going to open up just to close it back down again. Is it something that I eventually might want to add on later? Yes, but that's more like a 40-year-old goal when I've been in my business for a good amount of time. Like, I've only technically had my small business since 2020, and this was the first one that actually has been successful, because you don't know it, but I've had another jewelry line before. It didn't do well because I didn't give it 100%. I had a clothing online boutique. It didn't do well because I didn't give it 100%. So I don't want you guys to see this business and be like, oh, she's a success. Trial and error. And there was trial and there was error, and now there's been success. So I do think that I do have a lot to give in terms of a mentorship. I just would like to put a little bit more years under my belt as a business before I start offering people a mentorship, because I hate master classes. I hate when people say, oh, masterclass on this, and you've been doing it for a year. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my green. People think it's liner. It's not. It's an eyeshadow. It's a masquerade palette from Juvia's Place. As far as finding quality vendors, what I will say is two of the starting points that I would suggest is Faire, F-A-I-R-E, and Alibaba. There are two really good ones that I think you can find good quality pieces from. especially jewelry pieces. Some people were asking me about like beauty related, body care. I don't know. I don't have a body care business. When it came time to try to source fedoras, I tried to go through Alibaba. The only reason why I did not go through them and went elsewhere was because I have a very large head. If you guys can't tell, I have a very large head. The extra larges that they were sending me weren't extra larging, and I'm like, I know this is your version of an extra large, but I know that this isn't an extra large that I would be looking for in a big head, in a protective style, in a natural hair. So that's why I went the route that I went. We're not even going to get on the process it took for me to get my hatch. Just know that I was stressed out. This took several trips back and forth to Mexico. It was a lot, but I'm happy that's where we are now. So yeah, next question. I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara on my falsies to give it a little staying power. I think I've mentioned this before, but like I said, it's really, your 9 to 5 is going to determine how well you can do it or how hard you have to work. Like I said, my job when I first came out of college would not have allowed me to do anywhere close to what I'm doing now. Could it have been possible? Yes, but I would have been really stressed out. So it literally just depends on your job. If you have a micromanager, if you legit are busy and working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, or 4 weeks, yeah, a month, it can get stressful. So my 9 to 5 allows me to do everything that I'm doing. And then as far as like balancing child and my husband, me and William have equal roles. Like there is no, I mean, there is a husband and a wife, but it's like if I'm working late editing and he needs to cook, he'll cook. If he needs to put Alexander down, he'll put Alexander down. If he needs to help clean the living room, he'll clean the living room, because at the end of the day, it needs to be done. So it's not one of those where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and wait because she's working, but I need my food. Boy, if you don't cook yourself, then you're not gonna eat. You're not gonna wait on me. So I don't think we have the roles where we do what needs to do to get it done regardless. I also am a firm believer, now that I'm in the space that I'm in, where I outsource. William is busy, okay? I am busy. He is just as equally busy doing work. His work is a lot more demanding than mine, especially corporate America. I mean, y'all see him. He stay going on the road, visiting clients. His job requires a lot of travel. So landscaping, we don't do it. We hire someone because we could spend that time doing something else that helps benefit us as a couple, him as a dad, me as a mom, us as friends, whatever. House cleaning, I bring someone in once a month to house clean. Laundry, I already have to do the Alexander's laundry and towels, so I outsource mine when I feel like it. If I'm having a lazy week, then I'll do it myself. Or if I'm having a less busy, I don't want to say lazy, I don't want to equal lazy with doing laundry. That's not the case. If I'm having a less busy week, then I'll do it myself. But I'm all about outsourcing so that I could spend those hours doing something that, like I said, helps benefit me as a mom, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a coworker, whatever. Yes, I got a nutritionist. Yes, she was the best thing for me to help realign and reset my body after baby. And I found my nutritionist on the Plush Care app. She is not located in Alabama. I actually don't know where she is. Found her through the Plush Care. It's like a online doctor services. So yes, I would definitely recommend a nutritionist for those who are post-baby or post something very, very large in your life that resulted in you gaining an excessive amount of weight. Because it could be you eating, or it could be your hormones, or it could be that your body just needs a reset. So yes, I would definitely, I've got one, I still have one, I would recommend one. I use the Lose It app. It is free, but in order to get the specific macros that I'm looking for, and I'm really just looking for the protein for the most part, you do have to pay. I just do the yearly subscription. I don't remember what that is, but that is the Lose It app that I use to log my food. When I was first starting to lose the weight, I did 4 or 5 days of heavy weight training. So I would strength train for anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour, and then I would do about 15 to 20 minutes of cardio. I did that until I lost the majority of the weight. And so now that we are within our goal weight and just really focusing more on toning. I've dialed that back to strength training 2 days a week, doing some kind of HIIT cardio 2 days a week, and then I do Pilates. Yes, I still do Pilates because someone asked me about it. I do Pilates on Sundays. Laser hair, I am neutral. The legs work perfectly. Like, I don't think I've had, even the hair that does grow back is so fine you can't see it. My underarms are disrespectful. I mean, laser it, the hair is back the next week. And she did say, like, some areas will take, some areas won't take. I've stopped doing laser. I'm like, you know what, just quit it. I will just either nair or do something to my underarms. So I have heard the underarms are they're just real disrespectful. She's not the first person to tell me that. So laser hair, loved it on my legs. It definitely worked. I did have to go to 7 sessions. The one on my underarms, do not recommend. Do not recommend. All right, let's apply favorite foundations. I actually just posted something on my LTKs, my favorite 7 foundations. I also did link the shades, so go and check that out. It's the, like I said, it's the favorite 7. It just depends on what I'm doing, whether I'm having a chill day, relaxed day, full of content day, wearing makeup all day, wearing makeup at night. It just really depends on those, but those are one of the 7 that I kind of go in and out. And one of the 7 are one of the ones that I wore today, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I average anywhere between, I would say, 7 hours of sleep. 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I go to bed anywhere between 11 and 12 o'clock at night, and I wake up anywhere between 6 and 7. So that's a solid 7 hours of sleep. I can't nap. As a adult, I can't nap, because when I nap, I go to bed. That's why I can't take, unless I'm done working out. I don't like to take showers in the morning, because for me, shower equals sleep. So if I'm working out in the morning, someone did ask me when I do my workouts. I like to work out in the morning if I'm not doing anything heavy. If not, I'll work out at night. It literally just depends. Lately, it's been working out in the morning. On those instances, I'll take a shower. But like just getting up on a Saturday morning, taking a shower, I ain't doing that, because I'm going back to bed. So I'm a shower at night kind of person, and I average about, like I said, 6 to 7 hours of sleep. So I saved this one for the last one, but if I'm being honest, I feel like I have addressed it throughout all of the other questions that I've been getting. I will have to say that for someone who is doing as much as I am doing, you definitely have to be organized. And because I am so organized in every other facet of my life, my house is clean, my car is clean, my desk is clean, my phone, I mean, I have folders in folders. Like this, I'm a naturally organized person. It didn't come from just me experiencing life. I feel like I've always been a naturally organized person. And so because of that, I feel like I do a good job balancing the organization that I do. So I was going to go into a full detail. That's why I left this as a last question. But now that I've gotten it out, I feel like the previous answers have kind of dealt with that, if that makes sense. Alright, so guys, that is it for this question and answer / get ready with me. Like I said before, I will link absolutely everything that I put on my face, including the shades, if I didn't mention it in this video, or if I didn't mention it while I was talking. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I got a lot of questions about my updated makeup routine, so I figured this would be a good way of doing that and also answering your questions. So I hope that helps. If you have reached the end of this video and you have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Also click the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. While you're here, guys, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and do all the things that the other YouTubers tell you to do. And I'm going to catch you guys Thursday, 7 o'clock. Later.